Now the light part is going to be easy and the dry part is going to be easy, but the cool part is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't have anywhere that stays consistently between 50. What's up, Lazy Dog fam? Hope everybody out there is having a fantastic day. It is Saturday, January 28th here in South Georgia, and on today's video we got a few things we need to do. First, we need to check on the status of our green sprouting process that we've been doing with our seed taters, see how that's coming along, see if we need to take them out of the dark closet yet. And then we've got some planting we need to do back here in the raised bed garden. Got a little spot we need to fill in, and so we're going to try to plant some peas in the raised beds. So here we've got all 7 of our seed tater varieties that we got from Wood Prairie Farm. Got them in these little tubs just to separate each variety. And over the last 8 or 9 days, they've been sitting in the closet in my office where it's dark and stays a nice cozy 72 degrees. So before we take a closer look and check the progress on all 7 varieties, let's revisit this green sprouting process real quick for those of you who haven't been following along. So Jim at Wood Prairie told us about this process in an interview we did several weeks ago. And this process supposedly allows your potatoes to hit the ground running when you put them in the ground. So they don't sit there a while, you're not waiting on them to sprout in the ground. Put them in the ground, they've already got sprouts on them, and they take off pretty quick. Now this green sprouting or chitting process is pretty simple. The only caveat is you got to start it about 30 days before you intend on putting your potatoes in the ground or before you intend on planting your potatoes. So if you're going to do this, when you order potatoes, you need to get them to send them to you a month before you're planning on planting them. And so the green sprouting process works like this. So we start out by putting the seed potatoes in a dark, relatively warm place, 70 to 75 degrees, for 7 to 10 days. And what that's going to do is cause the seed potatoes to break dormancy and start forming little sprouts. And then once we see sprouts starting to form in the dark, warm period, we want to take the potatoes out of the dark, warm room. We want to put them somewhere where they're getting a little bit of light at least, and where the temperatures are going to be a good bit cooler, say 50 to 55 degrees. Now, I don't know that we're going to be able to do that perfectly. We're going to try. Well, today, what we're going to do is see if we're getting some sprouts already, see if we need to take them out of the dark, warm closet. So let's start by dumping each bag into the tub so we can kind of look at them a little bit better. I left them in the bags inside the tubs. And if you're getting your seed potatoes from Wood Prairie, I would highly recommend saving these little labels right here. Not only will it help you keep things straight before you plant, but save them till after you plant. That way when you store your seed potatoes, you can put these labels beside them and you'll know which variety is which. So I'm gonna dump those Huckleberry Golds out right there. Put that label back in there. We can put those bags in the compost pile. I tore that one a little bit. Those got some nice sprouts on them there. Alright, so we got them all dumped out there, and before we take a closer look, I remember Jim told us in that interview that some varieties take longer to break dormancy than others, so we might see varying degrees of sprouting here. And we have different quantities of each variety, so the ones we're going to put in the in-ground garden, we have 5 pounds of. The ones that are going in the raised beds, we only have 1 pound of. So let's start out with a Huckleberry Gold here. And if we take a closer look at those, I can see some tiny sprouts forming. We can see the eyes, not real big sprouts on those yet, so that may be one of those varieties. Takes a little longer to break dormancy. If we move over here to the Rose Gold, we can see some really nice sprouts on those that have formed, so happy with that one. Scoot back here to the Elba, which is supposed to be a good variety for containers or raised beds. We've got some really good sprouts on those too. Our Baltic Rose here, nice sprouting on those already in just 7, 8, 9 days, however long they've been in the closet. Same thing with the Prairie Blush here. Maybe not as much sprout as we got on some of these others, but starting to see some there. And then for this Rose Fin Apple Fingerling, got some nice sprouts forming on those. And the Sharpo Mira here, we don't have real big sprouts, but we are starting to see some there. So I would say this green sprouting process is working extremely well so far. When we got these seed potatoes in the mail, couldn't see any sprouts, really couldn't see where the eyes were, and in just 8 or 9 days in my office closet where it's dark and around 72 degrees, we've got nice sprouts already. And even though the sprouting varies a little bit from one variety to the next, I would say that all these varieties have indeed broken dormancy, so then we can go to the next step in the green sprouting process. So now that we've successfully completed that warm dark cycle, broken dormancy, got some sprouting going on, we need to figure out a way to put these in the light, have them experience some cooler temperatures, but also keep them dry. Now the light part is going to be easy and the dry part is going to be easy, but the cool part is going to be a little bit tricky. I don't have anywhere that stays consistently between 50 and 55 degrees that's also lit. So we're just going to have to do the best we can here. So considering what I have and what I don't have, I think the best thing for us to do is just to put them on this rack here underneath our pole barn, where they will indeed stay dry. They will get a little bit of light. You can see we get some light coming in from over there. Now the temperature thing, we're just gonna have to deal with whatever the temperature is outside. These last few days it's been pretty cool, so they will indeed experience that 50 to 55 degree window. If it warms up next week, they may get closer to 60, 65 degrees, but we really can't do anything about that. I think this is gonna work pretty good for us though. Now, according to Jim at Wood Prairie, what this cool light cycle does is slows down the respiration on the seed taters, gives them a little more vigor for when we put them in the ground. Ideally, here in South Georgia, it's on 8B. We're trying to put taters in the ground, say mid-February to late February. Given that we've already got some sprouts on those, I should be able to get them in the ground around mid-February. We'll just see what the weather's doing. If it's really wet, we won't be able to plant, or if we're expecting or going to be expecting a week's worth of rain around that time, we'll have to hold off. But at least our seed taters are ready to go in the ground whenever the ground's ready. And one thing I'm considering doing this year is planting my raised bed taters before my in-ground taters. So I don't want to plant the in-ground taters too early, because if they start emerging and then we get, you know, a rogue late frost, I got to worry about covering them, you know, got to worry about them getting frostbitten. It usually won't kill them, but it will knock them back a little bit. So I don't want to plant my in-ground taters too early. However, in these taller raised beds where we're going to be planting some of those varieties we only got a pound of, I've got a setup already with hoops and some covering already cut to length. I can cover these raised beds really easily. So we'll see how our seed taters look in the next few weeks. We may plant some of these raised bed taters in early February just to try it, because we can cover these pretty easily. Now let's transition to a semi-blank or semi-open space in our raised beds here, where we're going to try to plant some peas. So over the last several videos, we've been filling in some of these gaps in our raised bed garden with some lettuce and some mustard. Now right here, we don't have a just clear, wide open space, but it's one of those situations where, you know, you have to make that decision. Do you want to hang on to just a few plants here, or would you rather go ahead and plant something else in this blank space? So we've got some lacinato or dinosaur kale here. Lost several of the plants, majority of the plants, to the Arctic blast. We've got a few that are hanging on here, and the other day the boys came out here to harvest some kale. Brooklyn sent them out here, and gonna have to have another lesson on how to harvest kale. They kind of just took it off the top there. But anyways, we only got about 3 plants that are really looking good here amongst this lacinato kale. Our other kale over here is still looking really good. Still a lot of growth and a lot of groceries to get off that. But I think just because we have a few plants left here, I think I'm gonna scratch those and plant something else here. That way we can occupy this entire half of the bed here. So a couple weeks ago, when I ordered those mustard green seeds that we use to make our own custom mix we planted, and those cut and come again lettuce seeds that we've already planted, when I ordered those from M.I. Gardener, I also got some seeds for these 2 pea varieties here I've never tried before. We got blizzard pea and we've got this blue shelling snow pea. So from what I understand, both of these varieties here have edible pods, so it's not like a traditional English pea where you let the pods fill out with peas and shell them and then eat the peas. We're gonna grow these for some nice little snacks and stir fries and just eat the whole pods before the peas mature inside the pods. Now usually this time of year I would be planting a long row in the in-ground garden of English peas. I really like that PLS 595 variety we've grown the last few years. But I still have a good bit of English peas in the freezer. So we're not doing a long row of English peas this spring. We would usually be planting right now in January or so. Gonna use what we got in the freezer. May plant some more English peas this fall once our freezer stock is depleted a little bit more. These are gonna be fun to grow. Been a long time since I've grown any snow peas. I really like snow peas, just haven't really gotten around to growing any, and hopefully these varieties do well for us. All right, so the first thing we need to do is get this cleaned up a little bit so we can plant in here. I'm gonna try to not pull these kale plants up. I'm just gonna try to clip them here. We'll see how that works out when we start kind of lightly cultivating this in a minute.
Why do you want to cut them off?
We're going to cut them off because we're going to plant something else here.
Are you going to throw those away?
We'll probably just feed them to the chickens. What do you think about that?
Yeah, get the, you know what their favorite food is? Cabbage.
Cabbage is their favorite food?
When we put a bunch of cabbage in there, they go, like, eat it up really fast.
Yeah, they love cabbage.
Yep.
All right, let's get these last few here. You put that in the bucket for me? Try not to cut our tape.
Why?
Because we're going to try to reuse that. All right, we need to pull up this tape so we can scratch this up a little bit. So what we're going to do is just lay it right over there. We're going to put it back down. So pull it up.
Like this piece?
No, just this. Just like that right there. Now we need to scratch this up a little bit. Can you help me do that?
Yeah.
All right, let me get you a little tool. All right, Tata, you use this one, okay? Just kind of scratch it up a little bit like that. Daddy's going to use this one right here.
Why? Why? I'd rather...
You getting it?
I'm like making it like nice and soft.
Yeah, that's what we want, nice and soft. All right, now let's smooth it out a little bit, okay?
I'm doing
You
it.
gonna smooth it out with that?
Like to bring a little bit into the sides and it smooths it out.
All right, now we're gonna lay our tape back down just like that. I don't think we'll bury it this time. We'll probably just leave it on the top, okay?
Okay.
All right, now we need to make us a little bitty furrow here to plant our peas, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna do one right here on this side of the tape. Now we don't need that one there for this. Just this tool right here will be good.
You know what? This will make 3 holes at a time.
That one makes 3 holes at a time. We just need 1 hole, okay? Just do what Daddy did. Don't hit the tape. Just kind of make a little line right there. There you go. It's probably deep enough. All right, let's do another one right here. Right here on the edge of this bed. All right, before we plant, we need to put some of this inoculate down here. I got a little bit left. Hopefully it's enough. We're just gonna sprinkle this in the furrow there. That's gonna allow these peas to fix their own nitrogen. Don't need a whole lot of it. All right, let's do this blizzard pea right here in this row, okay?
Okay, blizzard pea.
All right, let me show you. We need to put them in here about an inch or so apart, just like that.
Do we have to dig them up?
No, we don't have to dig them up. They'll grow out of the ground and we'll pick them off. Here, let me tear the bag open a little bit more for you. That way it's easier to get them out of there. I'm gonna start over here on this end.
Oh, I put one on the side.
It's okay. It'll still grow. All right, take all the rest of them and just plant them in here. We want to plant these really, really thick.
I'm gonna
Put one right there? Okay.
And then I'll put one right here.
Okay.
Like they're almost like stuck together, but not fine.
Okay, just put them in the same line. Put them all in the same line there.
Which one?
You done used all, you used all your seeds yet?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, here, sprinkle them all in here. All right, can you help me cover them up?
Yeah.
All right, so just do like that right there. There you go. All right, once we cover them up, let's just pat them down like that right there. Now let's do these other ones.
I do that one?
Yeah. You go. Oh, look, these peas are purple. Look, see?
Where's my bag?
Right there. There's your bag. I got my bag right here. Okay.
Oh, that one's really purple. Look.
That one is really purple. All right, we got to cover these up now.
Oh, I have one more.
You got one more? Now cover it up. Just like this. Watch. Watch Daddy do it. Take your hand just like that. Just cover it up. Got it? Press it down. Good job. All right. Now we just wait on them to come up, and then you can eat all the peas you want. How about that? All right, so we got those peas planted pretty quick there. Shouldn't take long for those to come up. It's supposed to be warm this next week. It's supposed to get a little rain, so hopefully those will get up and get going good. It's always a little bit of a struggle here. If it gets too warm and spring too quick, those kind of peas don't always do great for us, but hopefully the weather will cooperate and we'll get some decent little harvest out of them. So that takes care of most of the blank space or empty space in our raised beds here, besides where we're going to be putting our potatoes. So I think we've got all the gaps filled that we need to fill right now. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and if you've already started the green sprouting process on your seed taters, let me know in the comments below how it's going for you. And also, if you've ever tried any of these two snow pea varieties, let me know how well they grew for you. As always, you can find links in the description below to all our affiliate partners like Wood Prairie, Ollie Gardens, where we got these raised beds, In My Garden, where we got those pea seeds. Got some coupon codes for some of those companies so you can take advantage of those discounts. Don't forget to go check out our website, lazydogfarm.com, where we have our fig trees for sale. We've even got some seeds there, hats, shirts, our garden blog, recipes, all kind of good stuff over there. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, and share, and we'll see you next time right here at Lazy Dog Farm.
Oh.